What's good, Dream family? We back at it, episode 88 of the 99 Dream Journey. My name is Julian Taliaferro, and you already know we coming again with another weekly business update, lessons of the week, and topic for the day, which is more than consistency. And for this episode 88, we're going to begin with the quote of this week, and it's actually from one of my top Philly rappers. And it goes, "If my man was Jordan, I'd have no problem playing Pippen," from Leaf Ward. And to me, this is an amazing quote. It's a great quote because you're not always going to be that main guy. You're not always going to be that number one option. And there's going to be times when you need to be that complementary player to let that vision and mission to come to fruition. And again, the quote goes, "If my man was Jordan, I'd have no problem playing Pippen," from Leaf Ward. And now I can get to my business update. And what I wanted to talk about for this episode is how we're locking in on those key features that we know we want to have on our MVP. So we have our prototype, and we're using that as a baseline reference to decide what features do we actually want. And that's been helpful so far. And then in addition, we're continually having conversations of what we want the end goal of our company to be, as that end goal is going to be something we're striving throughout. We want to have that in mind. And of course, that's going to evolve over time. But we're just having conversations and continually talking about what we really want it to look like, our mission and vision. And again, I just want to say, we're really trying to take it step by step, take it day by day, and focus on being consistent. But there is a caveat to that, which I'll talk about in my topic portion of this episode. So with that business update out the way, I can now get into my lesson of the week. And it's going to refer to one of my lessons from the previous weeks, which was happiness is a choice. And I want to reiterate that. But on top of that, the lesson for today is that people are going to try to take your happiness, right? So the world, people are going to try to get you out of your norm, going to try to get you off kilter. So the lesson for this is just to be aware of that. They're going to try to make you be negative, try to take your happiness away. But again, it's a choice, and you're going to have to be aware about, how people are going to try to come. So that's my lesson for the week. And now I can get to my topic, which is more than consistency. So consistency is important. Consistency is key, is crucial, is needed. But there's more than just consistency. There has to be levels to consistency. And this is a lesson for me to not get complacent and consistency, not get complacent in saying, I'm continually doing something over and over again, and that's enough. That isn't enough, right? There has to be an improvement on the consistency. So it's one thing to do one thing over and over again, but to add on to that, that is what I want to talk about. And it's tough to kind of think about sometimes because that leads to the question, what does a level up in consistency look like? And you can look at that in different ways. That can be time. Okay, I want to be consistent by adding or dedicating more time to something. It may be being consistency in the activity that you choose. It may be consistency in locking in on that end goal. And that can be tough, trying to figure out what does a level up in consistency mean. And for me, I haven't solved that yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. What does a level up in consistency look like? But I do want to give an analogy or an example of it in running terms. So it's one thing to run every week. You can say you run 1 mile every week, but it's another to track your time to say, I ran a 10-minute mile when I started running. Now I run an 8-minute mile. Now I run a 6-minute mile. That's the level up in consistency. We could look at it in terms of the terrain. You can run a mile on the treadmill, But then you can graduate and start running on the street. Then you can graduate and start running hiking trails and level up that way. Or even the weight. You may start running with no weights on. Then you add a 20-pound weight vest. Then you add a 40-pound weight vest. So when you look at it that way, you're being consistent in the fact that you run every week, but you're adding difficulties or you're making it tougher on yourself to continually improve what it means to run that mile. So I just want to take that analogy, look at it in terms of entrepreneurship, and for me to decipher what does that look like and holding myself accountable to not stay in a plateau, to hold myself accountable to not just be content with doing something consistently, but I want to be content with leveling up the consistency. So that's all I have for this episode 88. And next steps for me are just continue work on the startup. And all right, let's get it, y'all. Going to achieve your 99 dream. And it's 99 dream because you are going to achieve your dream. And it will be 100%, but nobody, nothing is perfect. So you're going to achieve 99% of that. And let's go and let's get it.